What's good, everybody? You made it to our final video in our series of most watched Netflix films of all time. Today's video is Red Notice, featuring Ryan Reynolds, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
You have no idea what I'm capable of.
And Gal Gadot.
Hello, boys.
I never know how to pronounce that name. Anyway, this film is #1 most watched Netflix film of all time, right? So why would that be? Personally, I think it's because it's just a fun film. It doesn't really have as much of an agenda as all the other films we've seen. It's just a fun heist kind of film, right? And then there's some great banter. Ryan Reynolds is always fun to watch. He's always got something witty and clever and sassy to say. And same goes for Gal Gadot, by the way. And then Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, well, I know the ladies think he's nice to look at, and he's pretty funny as well, honestly. So let's dive into the top 3 themes for this film. Okay, so for today's film, our top contenders are white people weak, people of color strong, men weak, women strong, or men bad, women good. Which do you think it'll be? Give me a thumbs up, give me a bicep, or give me a trophy. Time to dive into the woke folks count, starting with the good guys and cool cats. As you can see, we've got a few less characters than usual. In addition, I've structured the format of this woke folks count a little differently than usual. And that's because on the right, we have one of our only truly all good character in this film, played by a woman, of course. And that would be Inspector Dawes. She's a leader at Interpol. She's trying to bring down the most wanted criminals in the world. And on our left, yes, we've got a couple criminals. We've got Detective John Hartley, who is actually a high status thief, and we've got the Bishop, who is the #1 most wanted thief in the world. Why do we have them in the good guys count? Because they're cool cats, and just like the Italian Job in Ocean's 11, we want them to pull it off. So we've got 2 people of color and 2 women. No liberals? No gay people? That's a little light for the Netflix diversity quota. But so long as there aren't any problematic characters in the good guys and cool cats category, it'll suffice for this film. Moving on to the bad guys and losers. As you can see, there are no surprises here. We've got 2 straight white males for our bad guys and losers count. So Netflix has done it again. Now, you can say, much like the last section, that Ryan Reynolds isn't quite as villainous as Sotto Voce, but he is a loser because throughout the film, he is constantly outwitted, out-thieved, if that is such a word, and out-conned. That's really all that needs to be said for this woke folks count. Well, that's it. It's time to make some subliminade with subliminal messaging. Today's film is Red Notice.
Subliminal messaging, uncovering the hidden truths, one film at a time.
Impossible.
I'm not asking. You need to shut the museum down, evacuate your visitors, and seal all ingress and egress points immediately.
And Interpol has the authority to compel me to do so?
Don't test me, Director.
You should listen to her.
And who are you, her bodyguard? You cannot be serious. My dear, the Bishop is nothing more than a boogeyman story in the art world. It's a catch-all concept. It's someone to blame when people like you and your friends in law enforcement are too incompetent to solve a case.
Too incompetent? How rude. Anyway, for our first clip of this film, we've got a collection of subtle behaviors by this dude where he's generally treating her in a condescending manner, implying that he doesn't really believe her or the seriousness of the situation. The Rock has to actually remind the guy, hey, you should listen to her. So generally these are subtle sexist behaviors by the man, so men bad, women good.
I'll see that.
Okay, so at this point in the film, Ryan Reynolds' character's plot to steal the egg has just been foiled, and who ends up stealing it now? Well, a much superior thief, which happens to be a woman. Point 1 for women.
You're under arrest, Agent Hartley.
Goss, look at me. Look at my eyes. didn't do this.
I don't believe you.
Alright, I'm about to give you a spoiler here. Basically, in this scene, we see that the female detective, she doesn't believe The Rock. And that's because she's smarter than The Rock, and she knows that he is lying to her because The Rock ends up being the bad guy.
Bureau Intel says that the second egg is owned by an international arms dealer.
Sotto voce. I know all about this guy. Sotto voce is super scary, but he's not above having a good time. Throws a masquerade party every year for his top buyers in his I probably have a tiny penis villa in Valencia.
If you don't know this by now, men only ever accomplish anything as a means of covering up their insecurities.
Вас капитан хочет видеть. Пошли!
Him? Oh, no, us. Okay.
Hello, boys.
Oh, my God. Wow. You're the captain? You might benefit from a little career change. I mean, I don't think runway, but definitely regional catalog work, flyers.
She's the bishop.
I don't know about you guys, but when I think of the captain of a big scary prison, I think of an intimidating woman, because those are the most likely people to fill positions of power, especially in prisons.
It's so nice to finally meet you, Mr. Booth. Such a thrill to be face to face with the second best art thief in the world.
Oh, well, I see what you did there. That's, yeah, you got lucky a couple times early on, you know, but you can't name one time in the past year that you beat me.
Helsinki.
My parachute failed.
Jakarta.
My Segway sank.
Macau.
Nobody knew that Miley Cyrus was going to be there. It was a completely unannounced show.
You can have excuses or results. Not both.
Who's the '1 art thief in the world? Well, it's definitely not Ryan Reynolds' character. No, it's Wonder Woman. I mean, Gal Gadot's character? Whatever. Obviously, women are superior to men. That's all you need to know.
The one thing that doesn't quite line up for me is how the son of a Swiss police captain turns to a life of high crime.
When I was 8 years old, my dad thought I stole his watch. He loved that piece of metal more than anything. He asked me if I stole it. I told him I didn't. He said he knew that I had and that I was lying. And one night he comes home and he sits down at the dinner table. And there it is. There's the watch, the missing watch, right there on his wrist. Found out later that he put it in his desk at work and it got buried behind some papers or something like that. But he never apologized. He just looked me in the eye and he said, "How was your day at school?"
I just love how Netflix accurately portrays fathers and men as just generally horrible human beings who never own up to their mistakes, especially in this case. Again, men bad, women good.
Oh, that's fun. This is my best friend.
Now, who would be dumb enough to worship a leader like Vladimir Putin? Well, a white man, of course.
I'm so focused on winning all the time, on being the best at what I do, that I can never just fully relax and just be. Is that normal? How do I know? Anyway, I'm sorry to rope you into all of this, but just using your terminal here to ensure that the origin point of my message is untraceable. Best way to do it is from within the system itself. They should really work on patching the security vulnerability. It's embarrassing.
Just men being weak and easily fooled by women again, and women being the best at what they do again.
I'm gonna have to end our session here. Have a lovely day.
Freeze!
I'm gonna leave now, and when he wakes up, you're gonna tell him that you triggered the alarm falsely and in his hasty trip coming through the door. And if you decide not to do that, I want you to remember one critically important thing. I know everyone you work with and every member of your family. And I also know your browser history.
First, she takes out an armed guard who's come in specifically to handle what is probably a life or death situation, and then she easily outwits this man into compliance by threatening him with blackmail for his perverted internet history. Women are just dominating this movie.
Trust your partner?
What makes you think I have one?
Well, no one would be able to pull off the scores you have alone. It's impossible.
No one would be able to pull off the scores that she can. So how can she? Well, because she's a woman.
Watching you dance with this man at my party has made me quite jealous.
Well, I had to get your attention somehow.
Don't worry. I got it.
You're kidding. Nice pull. How'd you know Soda Voce would cut in?
Well, Soda Voce is a 5'5" alpha male with textbook Napoleon complex, so anytime another male dances with the most desirable woman at his party, well, he has no choice but to step in and assert his dominance.
Just like short men have to own big homes to cover up their insecurities, they've also got to step in and show their dominance when their alpha malehood is threatened.
Hey! You know, for a guy who claims he's innocent, you sure do hang around with a lot of criminals.
Once again, The Rock, the detective, is no match for the female detective. Women, men.
Looking for something specific or just browsing?
You look awful.
You know, there was an easier way in, but I doubt very much that you could have managed it.
There was an easier way in, guys. You're just too dumb and male to get it.
You want to arrest me? Come. Arrest me.
Take it easy.
This is easy.
When will these guys get through their thick skulls? Women are stronger than men. Period.
Ah, bummer. I really wanted to do it the easy way. That's okay. I'll get the information from you by hurting him.
If she hurts you bad enough, I mean, if she gets really creative with it, I'm gonna have no choice but to tell her everything.
See, there's this common misconception in American society that women aren't tough enough to be violent when necessary. Well, I think this scene points out very accurately that that is incorrect.
Shall we celebrate? To the end of our business.
And the beginning of our pleasure.
Guard! I don't know what happened. We were just having a glass of champagne when all of a sudden he fell. And scene.
Jeez, how many men has this woman physically overpowered? How many men has she fooled? Like, can you start picking on women of your own size?
Look, it's not that I don't care about you. It's that I don't care about anyone.
My dad was a crook. Con man, actually. Then on my 13th birthday, he didn't show up. And my mom and I never saw him again.
We really got some dads, huh?
Let's face it, men don't make good parents, and that's why every single Netflix film will reference at least 2 bad fathers on average.
Five-second rule.
Do you think Wonder Woman would have done, Gal Gadot's character would have done that? No, because she's not a stupid, clumsy man. Duh.
Let me save you the trouble.
Your entrances are bullshit.
Egypt? Did you really think I ran right off to the pyramids on your good word? All I had to do was wait for you two to escape from Sotto Voce, and you led me right to the third egg, which I'm going to take from you now.
Did Ryan Reynolds really think he could outsmart a woman? Dude, know your place.
Drop your weapon!
behind us.
I followed you. She must have followed me.
Well, look at that. Not even Wonder Woman can outsmart another woman.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
Shit! We're running out of road!
Hold on to something. If we stop, they'll catch us.
Then let's get caught!
Make sure to kick clear of the car.
I would like to workshop this idea!
Oh, shit!
Then let's get caught. I like how the men are clearly inexperienced in the way of adventures and taking risks and making bold executive decisions for the group. But luckily, Wonder Woman here is here to save the day.
You're right, I am the bad guy. I know how a confidence scheme works. Trust me, you don't know me, Booth. You have no idea what I'm capable of.
What the fuck?
Look at him.
Resting failure face.
Correction. Not all men are dumb, just the white ones.
I found a girl, beautiful and sweet.
This is an Interpol police action. Remain in your seat.
We'll take those. Thank you very much. Possession of stolen Nazi loot is a crime. You're under arrest, father of the bride.
This is outrageous.
And once more, at the end of the film, we realize that men end up in prison and women end up on top. Case closed. And now it's time for the message. Alright, so the first thing you'll notice is that there's only 2 themes up for grabs today. What? I told you that there'd be 3. I lied. No, but actually what happened is that I could only find 2 themes in this film. And that's because I consider a theme to be, I don't know, at least 5 reoccurring moments of the same message, and I honestly just couldn't find that in this film. So here we go. Coming in second place, we've got men bad, women good, and 10 moments of that. Which means coming in first place, we've got men weak, women strong, and 16 moments of that. So, as you might notice, compared to other films, there wasn't a whole lot of moments to analyze in this film. And now we'll get into why I think that is, with the verdict. So, is Red Notice woke? Well, if you ask me, I'd say not really. I'm really hesitant to give this one my stamp of wokeness because I really feel this is more of a girl power film than a woke film. And even as a girl power film, it's done in a humorous way, a playful way, and personally, I think that's why this is Netflix's most watched #1 film of all time. It's just a fun movie. It's not meant to be taken seriously. It doesn't have a self-righteous message attached to it. It's got some great actors and actresses and some slick visuals. It's entertaining, not woke. Anyway, that's everything, folks. Hope you enjoyed today's episode of Subliminal Messaging. And if you did, why not throw me a thumbs up or subscribe? I put about 20 hours of work into each episode, and I appreciate every little bit of thumbs up or subscribes that I get. That's all. So, I'll see you later, Lemonheads.